Don and I were freshmen together for the first time at Laurinburg High. You don't need that for this story.
I'm sorry.
And after a night of heavy drinking and carousing, we were going somewhere. Where we were going to doesn't matter, and I've since forgotten. But I was feeling rather lonely at the time, and Don was driving a pickup with his camper in the back. The camper had 2 bunks in it. I said, Don, I am so tired. Please let me lie down in one of those bunks, and I'll get up when we get where we're going. He was insistent that I ride with him in the cab. Well, Don liked to speed. And no sooner had we left town on Highway 74 going east than the light began to stream through the back window of the pickup. And I looked back, and there was that camper rocking back and forth on Highway 74. Don found it very humorous. I was pretty well shattered, thinking I'd come that close to dying. But on another occasion, if he'd saved my life, another time he almost took it. His father dispatched him down to Darlington to buy tickets for the race. And he was in his red Jaguar. And we were on a South Carolina road, and it was not a freeway, it was far from it. And for that reason, unbeknownst to me, Don, I think, wanted to find how fast that Jaguar would go. And he kept going faster and faster. And I pleaded with him to slow down. Finally, when we reached 140 miles an hour, he backed off. And since then, I have never gone 140 miles an hour. Nor do I have intended to. There again, he found it very humorous. But that was Don. Don was a great student of the Civil War, as am I. And when he died, he asked that his casket be covered with a Confederate flag that his uncle had given him that once flew over the South Carolina state capital. And since that time, I have taken it upon myself to see that his grave over at Old Hillside Cemetery in Laurinburg, where I live, is never without a Confederate flag. And every week or so after I finish work, I make myself a stout drink and I get a flag, and I ride over and I check on the flag. And if it's missing, I replace it. If it's weathered, I replace it. It doesn't matter whether they take it or not, because I have more than a dozen at home. But I'll tell you this, as long as I am able, there will always be a Confederate flag at Don Creed's grave. It is my tribute to Don. We're going to see a DVD, and I think it's very enlightening. And I'll let Gigi, his beloved daughter, tell you more about it. But let me say this. Too often, when we get together, we look back at things that were funny, or we reminisce about something 35 years ago. Or we talk on a very superficial level, but we really don't know each other. We don't know what has transpired. We don't really know the person that we're talking with. But I think when you see this DVD, you'll better understand the man that Don Creed was, and why his family sorely misses him, and why his wife, Donna, who always accompanied him as long as he was physically able to these reunions, is just not up to being with us this year. Maybe later. We hope so. He had 3 lovely children. The one I know best is the one that cared for Don in her home during his last days. she knew how important this school was to Don and how important we were to Don. And I miss Don so much. But you know, I lost touch with Don after he went to Elizabethtown to practice law, and I stayed in Lawrenceburg to chase the Draper dollar. But we reunited at this convention, and it rekindled our friendship. And that is the magic, the real magic of these reunions, is that it allows us to reunite with people that were once dear to us, and allows him to again become an important part of our lives. I'd like to thank Gigi Enloe for coming. She's busy. She's running for clerk of court in her county, and for her friend Laura Grimes for accompanying her. And I'd like at this time for Gigi to say a few words, after which we will watch